Hello Sims 4 fans and fellow simmers, welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to show you another build of mine down my memory lane series that I've got on my channel. And today with the memory lane series, I've got another apartment build for you. So we are still in the world of Evergreen Harbor, specifically the neighborhood of Conifer Station. And what you're looking at is a clock tower. So I think this clock tower is beautiful. I like the vibes of it. I like that it's sort of industrial, a little bit old, a little rusty. And I thought it was sort of like a staple for this particular neighborhood. Now, if you like this neighborhood that comes with eco lifestyle, then me and you probably share the same sentiment in the sense of like, I really like the vibe and the aesthetic. Is there something more that I could create in this neighborhood that would match this aesthetic? And so I went for it. Hence, I've now got like an apartment build that sort of matches this clock tower idea. So let me show you what I mean. Alright, so if I hop back into the game, here I am hopping back into the game. Alright, so there's our clock tower. And in my previous video, you may have seen that I showed you some apartments right over here on this side. Now, I have bulldozed those apartments and plopped down this even older build that I've put here. So when I first heard of the for rent pack coming out, I knew I wanted an apartment build here, and this was the very first attempt that I had. So those townhomes that you've seen in the previous video, if you're interested, please go check it out. The Conifer Street townhomes in my gallery. But yeah, before I made those, this was the first idea I had in mind. Now this is a 4-unit apartment building with many amenities and extra bonus areas, inspired by the look of that clock tower over there. So hence you can see the shared resemblance of the brick and the arched windows that sort of matches that industrial feel. Alright, so yeah, this was my take on it. So let me show you guys the actual build. I'm going to drop down into build mode really quick and let you guys get an actual look of this. Now, what we're about to see, this is called the Rusty and Reclaimed Apartments. It is, again, it's a 4-unit apartment. I saved it twice on my gallery, like I always do with residential rentals. You can get the default as a regular residential if you'd like. That's on my gallery. You could also get the residential rental version, which already comes with the units separated and, you know, utility area, all that ready, set for gameplay. This is on a 30 by 20. And just like always, you can find all of my builds under my category under the ID Marsh Attack 12. I have so much here, many more apartment builds, rec centers, public areas, all of that here. Anyway, back to this build. So this is the Rusty and Reclaimed apartment building, inspired by the old clock tower over here. So it's a little bit rusty, a little industrial, but for those of you who like that feel and like that Evergreen Harbor aesthetic, then you will like this. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the interesting thing about this apartment unit is that it's double-sided, so there's an entryway in and exit way. Because if you were to save this lot to the gallery, if I were to press save, what I noticed is that the photo is of the backside. So if you are someone who, you know, builds often on lots, then just be aware that the photo is of the backside and not the actual side you spawn into. So just want to let you know that. I would show you, but it's still loading, but you guys get my drift. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get inside of here and see what's going on. I love how like commercial and industrial this looks. Like it's all pavement and, you know, barely any green. But yes, it still looks good. It still holds true. A little busy on the roof, but yeah, that's the one thing I love about looking at these old builds is I get to see all of those old choices that I made and then come back to it and go, how do I feel about that now? It's always interesting to me. All right, but let me get down to the first floor. Now, there is no basement here, and please ignore the Sims out in front because I kicked them out of the previous build. Anyway, so this is what I had in mind. I'm going to go in tab mode so you can see a little better. So when you first come through, there's a little stairwell, like a lot of apartment builds. And you got a couple of archways. So here's our grand door. You come through the grand door of things. And you can go to the left. We'll have like a function area. So in this function area is where we'll have like the shared space of yoga, and a yoga instructor will be hired, and all the residents can come out and do yoga. And then over here is just the lobby, basically the the lobby area where you want to talk to the property manager or you want to pick up your mail. That's been left. Well, actually, there's a little mail area down here. But yeah, this is basically, you come here if you want to talk to the property manager and, or actually, the lobbyist, and wait to meet with the property manager to check out a unit for believability. There's, a lobby here. And then there's other spaces. So I'll show you after I show you like this middle area. So in the middle area, what I was talking about, you have the mail section. So again, there are only 4 units in this building. Again, it looks like more, but it's The Sims. You only have 6 max, and I didn't want to use up all your 6 limits. Plus, I made good use of these apartments. So you'll see what I'm talking about when I actually show you the apartments, because they're a good size. Each apartment is 3 bedrooms, and they're spacious. So I know a lot of people, they don't build with floor plan and space in mind, but I do, so you will benefit from this. All right, and then over this side across from the mailroom, this is one of the utility areas. Yes, so again, this version that I'm touring you through is just the plain residential version. It does not have the extra fixtures that the residential rental version would have, because I made this before I got the for rent pack. So I prepped this for rent. So that's what the residential version has. And then when you actually download the residential rental, you'll get the real electricity box, fuse box, and the real water heater. But this is, just a debug one that came with City Living, and I've just put it in here so that you know where to put the real one if you were to download this version. And so that's one side. So we came through there. We saw our mailroom. We passed our lobby. We passed our amenities area of our, our free yoga for the residents. If you want to, you can transform that into a gym if you want to. Whatever you feel like, All right, and then over here we got 2 areas. So we've got this area, which is the laundry room, which I like this because you get shared laundry. How cool is that? And then what's so cool about this is that these rooms connect. So as you can see, you have, let's say, if you kept that as a, wellness yoga area, or if you changed it to a gym, this is good because you change your clothes is here, and then you can wash those clothes here. And then what makes sense is to put the bathrooms here. So this is a toilet here. And for anyone who just had to, you gotta go. It's always good to have a toilet on the main floor. And then I put showers in here. So if you don't know, these are the Discover University showers. They give you privacy, so that's perfect, especially when you're dealing with multiple residents on the lot. So yeah, I really like the use of this space. I thought it was done really well, so I really like that. I think this would be a good building still if it was at full occupancy. Like I'm talking 8-member households. I could picture this being filled up, being put to good use. But yeah, this is another activity area. So it's another function area, which is family friendly. So something for the kids to do. So whether you want to come down here and paint with them, you can. So the child sims can come. They can work on some crafts. You can even put your infant here or read to your toddler. And everybody's happy because everybody has a space. And just like before, this connects. Oh, there's a little candle making station there because this is eco lifestyle. So you want to put the eco lifestyle objects and hobbies included here. So yeah, this connects on through to the lobby, as you can see. And just like on the other side, we have a toilet here plus this staff room. So this would be where the fabricator is. Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So woodworking, fabrication, if you're going to use this space, that's great because then you can make any extra furniture if you want to, or, work on something laborious, however you feel. But yeah, there's a room dedicated to it and an extra restroom, depending on what side of the build you're on. Alrighty, so that is that. So brings us right back around to our lobby area. All right, and I love that we have this little bulletin board here. It's not functional because it only works with city living, but it looks good for an apartment build, so that's why I brought that here. All right, and we are going to go up to the next level. So, ooh, I'm so excited. Now, back when I made this, I just thought it was okay to just leave junk in the hallway. So you have a giant fizzing machine that's just public property, public use. So again, I had gameplay in mind. If you don't like that, you can get rid of it, but this is for eco lifestyle. So what I imagine is a lot of people in this neighborhood, especially within this building, they probably participate in community events, and there might be a juice fizzing day. Hence why I have the juice fizzing machine, and I put out a bunch of samples here that your Sims can taste. But yeah, pretty cool. You can grow all these things: grapes, bananas, grapes and bananas, grapes and cherries, whatever that green is, just a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, I like the story of that. So on the other side of the hallway, it's just blank. It just features a bench here, but essentially you get 2 units across from each other on each floor. So here's one unit here, and here's another unit here. I love how they have a basic door. Cause this looks like a simple apartment door. It has the little keyhole there, a little rug mat, and yeah, very straight to the point. So I'm gonna start with this one right here, right off of this staircase, cause it's closer. All right, and voila. So once you enter into the unit, as you can see, this is the apartment. Like many apartments that I've been into, some of them open you right up into the hallway of the home instead of the living room. So this is one of those situations. So, I remember which one this is. So this is the just moved in apartment. So it's empty in here. There's no furniture. This is great if you have a storyline of somebody that's just like, maybe they're straight out of college, or maybe they're going into college, or maybe they just, they just graduated, or they just got their first job, or maybe they're just, they just got married, or they got a new girlfriend and they moved into their first home together. This is a great storyline for that. So I really like this because you can see it's a very basic, like you'd find in brand new apartment, new or pre-owned apartments that are just empty. But as you can see from here, like, look, this is nice. We got like, textured walls, stone backsplash back there. And look at this wraparound kitchen. It's very nice. Stainless steel appliances. So this is a good first home for anybody who wants it. Plenty of space for some bar stools over here. And yeah, you could put your entertainment unit on that wall or that wall. Plenty of room for your couch setups in here. It just works. All right, and then we got a couple of doors. So let me show you what each door has. So this door is the full bathroom, the only bathroom in here, but hey, that's how it works. At least from what I remember, I think there's only one bathroom in each. We'll see. We'll both be surprised because it's been a long time since I toured this. But I do remember being so proud of this and liking the aesthetic. I think the feel was that everything was rusty and reclaimed. So you have some things that were repurposed, some things that were renovated, all throughout these different units. So in this case, this looks like the newer remodeled unit, where you can see some things have been renovated and some things have a fresh coat of paint. And this is definitely the unit with the fresh coat of paint. All right, and then through here is the other bedroom. Well, I'm sorry, the first bedroom we're looking at. So as you can see, it's a nice, beautiful bedroom. Very simple to the point. And then what I like about this particular build is that I added a floor to ceiling window, I believe, in all of the rooms. So I'm very happy about that because you get a view. So that's the cool thing about being in an apartment build is that you get a nice view outside. You can't access this balcony, but it is here and you do get the vibe. So I really like that. Really, really nice. And then over here, the other bedroom. So same as before, nice and spacious. And just imagine this being your first home and you get all this space. You get 3 full bedrooms. This is great for a new family that's just expecting a child, or a couple that has a child already and is expecting their second baby. Very good for that. Okay, so I did put a bed in here. So as you can tell, like, again, sticking with the theme of rusty and reclaimed, it's a brand new apartment, but as you can see, this is a platform bed that is a little bit chipped away, you know? So we're hinting that things are a little bit used, but not, you know, it's not full blown out, like, repurposed. Okay, so there is an additional bathroom here, full bath. That's really cool. So this will be the primary. Love that. Ooh, I want guys, let me know what you think down in the comments about this unit and the idea of moving into a move-in ready apartment. It just has, you know, your kitchen and your plumbing. Love that. Okay, so let's leave this unit. This is a good unit. Definitely, I remember making this. Very cool. All right, so now that we're done with that unit, we're gonna go over to the next one. So this, I don't even remember. I don't remember what kind of apartment this is. We'll both see. All right, so the walls look a little bit more dirtier here. Okay, so just like on the other side, it's just flipped, you know. We're led into the hallway of the house, and immediately you could tell the difference by the flooring and the walls. So these walls are a bit more dirty and the flooring is older. So if we go across the hall, as you can tell, the whole apartment building has like chipped tile floor, but this unit has been renovated and put new floors in, so we could see the difference. And then the walls over here, they look to be the same walls, but they're clean. They're not dirty at the bottom like the ones over here. So if we go back over here, we can see that there is quite a big difference. So this one is an older unit. Even the doors look older, or maybe it just looks more rusty in here. But yeah, this one is not move-in ready. It's already furnished as if someone's living here. So when I show you this place, this is full out repurposed. So here's the living space, and here's the little kitchen space. Wow. And then if we, take it all in, we can see the full extent. Now this is true industrial living. And then that's the TV unit. So let's piecemeal this. Let's talk about this piece by piece. The kitchen situation, because we have a mixture going on, which is sort of asks for fun and quirky gameplay. So I believe I remember what the theme of this apartment unit was. So the idea with the eco lifestyle pack is that you'd have some people who are dumpster divers, who are green fiends, who are frugal and love saving money. So I think the purpose of this unit was to reflect someone who found a way to repurpose a lot of items. So as you can see, we got different cabinetry at the top, and a reused cabinetry at the bottom. It's steel at the bottom and wood at the top, and then you got this block of shelving unit here with exposed piping, and so these have a lot of different purposes. But yeah, these have a lot of different purposes, and what I will say is that makes this a really cool spot because there's a lot of interest to look at here. So we had an old fridge. It looks like they found these pieces from different areas and just used them together. I like how we have this old stove, and you could tell like the stove doesn't go here. Like it was found and then put here, and whoever put it here is handy because they, kind of mismatched their own kitchen set here to make something work. And yeah, they found a stove and made it work, and that's the eco lifestyle living. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool and useful for this sort of gameplay. And then the same with the chairs and the dining set. So they probably made this table themselves, or they found it, and they also found these chairs. It made a set out of it, and so that's how they're living. And then I picture the same with the living room set. So as you can see, these are pallets. Like these are wooden pallets that this furniture is made out of. If you don't know what pallets are, it's basically when department stores have a lot of items, they usually ship it on top of a pallet and it's wrapped with shrink wrap or something like that. But this person took that and made furniture out of it. So yeah, very resourceful sim who lives here. And the same thing with this table. You would think that this table also came with the Eco Lifestyle Pack, but it didn't. This table is actually from the High School Years Pack. And what makes this table so fitting is that it looks like it's reclaimed wood. It's for the thrifty store, so that makes sense that it's thrifted. So it goes along with this theme. And then we use this rug, which has always been a favorite from Get Famous. An old antique rug always helps a space feel more comfy. And then yeah, get into it. We got this TV that came with Eco Lifestyle. Again, I'll be telling y'all about Eco Lifestyle. It got extra stuff in it, so go check it out. And this bookcase, again, you would have thought it came with Eco Lifestyle, but it did not. It came with Discover University. And here's my theory behind the Sims team. I feel like we get content that was meant for other packs within different packs. So I think that this has happened a lot, to where it's like, they're working on a pack and they know another pack is coming up, and they may have made something for that future pack, but they have a pack releasing now, and they'll go ahead and release items that were meant for the future pack. Now, Discover University, what sense does Discover University have to put cement blocks on, some pipe and wood and have that for a university dorm? It doesn't. So it only makes me think that they made this for Eco Lifestyle, but this asset was already ready during the production of Discover University. So it just fits so well in here because it's a repurposed bookshelf. Like they made a bookshelf out of cement blocks. So I believe that that was meant to go with the Eco Lifestyle pack. So it goes well in here. And I love these scratches on the wall. I think they add character. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Guys, I know you have thoughts. You have to have thoughts on this place. This is a pretty cool place. Um, but yeah, definitely for a specific sim that's perfect for this eco lifestyle area. Oh, did I pass up? Yeah, I passed up the restroom. So here's the restroom. Again, they're repurposing things, using some older style fixtures and plumbing, working with what they've got compared to the other unit that's been renovated. Yeah. All right, so let's check out the bedrooms. So right here is the first bedroom. And this is a pretty cool bedroom. Even if you don't have a kid, like this would be a nice team bedroom, or just a room for a pair of roomies. I think is very fitting. So right now this is staged as a kid's bedroom, who is got quite a few things in here that is like thrifted or repurposed. So right now the coolest thing in here is the battle station, which is like the main proper toy for this kid to have or function with. Right off the back we see this little nook over here with some clutter, so this just adds a little space for them to come sit down, and even if they have friends come visit, they'll have a space for that. This lamp, if you're wondering where it came from, that is an eco lifestyle lamp. So if you did not know, you can actually make this lamp with the fabrication skill. But yeah, I like to think that, again, whoever this Sim's parent is, they are good at thrifting or finding things and repurposing them, so they were able to make a cool bedroom out of things that were found. So this, clown painting was found, and this crate table was found, and it's now used as a table, and it's very handy. So I like that. And then of course this is child room, so they have to have somewhere to do their homework. So they've got that there. Oh, and I just put the little Yoda there because I thought it was cute, and it's color matching my scheme, so that's what we went for. This is a locker, but it is also being used as just solely a bookshelf. So again, this came from Discover University. And again, my hunch is, okay, it makes sense that a locker would be in Discover University, and it maybe even be used as a bookcase. But the repurpose intent behind it makes me think that, okay, this might be another one that was solely meant for eco lifestyle. So yeah, just something to ponder over. Let me know what you think down in the comments, if you picked up on that too, that happens in the Sims universe. All right, so here's another room. So here, I think I look to this as sort of like a guest room, as something like, they have an extra air mattress in here for any guests that might stay over, but it's pretty much a storage room. They may have found this old jukebox and just thought it was just a, treasure gold, and needed somewhere to store it in the house, and this is where it's being stored. And here is, I like this item from Get Famous because it shows that, it's a closet, but like it's storage mainly is what it is. So I like this because it helps add the idea that, this is a storage room. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And then last but not least is the primary. And oh, this is nice. I really like this. So yeah, they repurposed some things. They've got that wall structure as, a cool feature in their room. They probably found that somewhere. This is a fabricated dresser, I know, so I know that you'd have to actually make that. This bed as well came with Eco Lifestyle. So the thing with the bed is that it's made to look like a bunch of different fabrics have been sewn together to make a blanket, and I think that's really neat and cool. Like, love that. And then we got shelving units at the top. It means whatever photos they found, they made a house into a home. just out of the things that they found. So this is really cool. This is one of those where I'm like, oh, there's a lot of storytelling in this build. And again, we get the nice view. So yeah, this is another nice unit. And then of course, yeah, I must have been on it when I thought of these units, because not only do you get 3 units, you also get one of those bedrooms that come with their own ensuite. So very nice. So before we leave out of here, guys, let me know down in the comments. I have to know what you think about all the mismatch and repurposing done in this build, because I think it looks so good. It looks really good. And it's so fitting for a particular sim in a specific gameplay style. So I like that. This adds variety here. Alright, so that is the first level. We checked this out. We saw like the little community, little nook over there with free fizz tasting. Have a little juice tasting session over there with the residents. And we got to see our 2 units, a move-in ready unit and an old repurposed unit. So now we're on the next floor with the last 2 units of the build. So if you notice, look how fast I'm going in tab mode. That's just something that happens when the higher you go up. So technically I'm on the 3rd floor, even though this is just the 2nd level with units. So anyway, what are we looking at now? I came up to the 3rd floor and we've got a little table here and computers. So when I put this here, the idea was that you know, some apartment buildings, they have like a business center, somewhere where you can use free computers, almost like a library where you need to use Wi-Fi to get things done. And so these were public free use computers for the residents that lived in the building. See, I'm thinking of everything. And so I just stuck them out in the hallway. Probably not the best spot, but you know, could have been closed off with a room, but this is what I thought of. You could close it off if you want to. But yeah. So yeah, I like to think of this as still a bulletin board and just promotion for the community helping each other out. So, and I did not slot the chairs here. So if I don't slot the chairs here, the residents can't use them. So why would I put computers here to use and then I use them? Well, because I didn't want that to be the only thing your NPC sims do. So if you want to see your neighbors, you may not want to see them use the computer all the time. So I left this up to your choice, so where you can slot them when you want to. Because yeah, sims tend to go straight to the computer and stay there, even though there's a bunch of other things on the lot. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so we've got 2 more units up here. We've got one over here, and as you can see, there's like a custom mat for that door, and then there's also a custom mat for this door, so a little different than the lower level. So let's go on through. Hopefully I'm not too fast. Woo. All right, so here we go. And we got different flooring in here too. The wall is a bit more gray. Oh Lord. So yeah. And we got some exposed piping in here. So similar to the one downstairs, it has a similar layout. So I'm going to go over here. And yeah, you guys can take in the living room and the kitchen. So since we're right here, let's talk about the kitchen. Immediately, we have this sort of like industrial loft vibe, even though it's not a loft. It's an apartment, but what makes it industrial is the mixture of the metal and the wood. And so that's what's going on in here. And so it has the same layout as the unit downstairs has been renovated, but this one has its own aesthetic and theme. So yeah, this has that industrial theme with the butcher block countertop, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I really like the look of that. And then yeah, that theme is carried on through because we still have that wood and metal with the furniture choice. So as you can tell in the furniture set. And that's so funny because at the time I didn't even have the industrial loft kit when I made this, but this was just the base game set. I believe there's a craftsman set that's all wood and metal, so you can have this theme all throughout the house. But yeah, I just took that set and I just ran with it, and this is what we came up with. So this is sort of the apartment unit for the maker of the building. So those that are into handiness, into crafting things with their hands, using the woodworking table, these people are most likely to be into fabrication as well. So this is an apartment that reflects that hobby. So as you can tell, this is they are a unit of residents that really are good with their hands. So hence there's an easel here. There's no TV. There's just a mural. So what do they do for fun? They just paint their walls. So this is not just a default mural that I put on the wall. Like, I had to have a sim come here in gameplay and actually paint on the wall. So this wall is paintable for your, for your entertainment. So if you have a sim that's very artsy, this will be a great place for them as well. And especially if they're into that industrial feel. So again, plenty of counter space, and we've matched that aesthetic all the way through. Let me show you the additional rooms. So here's the shared restroom. Here we go. So this one is definitely different from the one downstairs, where we saw like a totally renovated one. We saw one that was old, and then here's one that it's also different. So it's sticking with that wood theme. We see a mixture of wood and stone and a little bit of metal in here as well. So we match with that aesthetic. And yeah, I definitely like that. Got a little somewhere to keep your toiletries like that. And then yeah, so let's go into a room. So here's one room. So just like the room downstairs, this room features a floor to ceiling window. And yeah, it's fitting for a bedroom. Now you don't have to turn this into a bedroom, because as you can see in this particular unit, this has been staged as a craft room. So for those who are into woodworking or candle making, right? So this is sort of like the craftsman's apartment. This is a perfect place for them. So here, if you work on candles, you could work on your candle and store them on the shelves over here. And there's also a chest here, which is an actual storage chest. You can store things inside. So this is great. Love that. Oh, that's so cute. Please let me know down in the comments what you think about this craftsman's apartment. All right, and then over here we've got the artist's room. So again, we had a paint easel in the living room as well as a mural. So it made sense that a painter would be in here. And again, we stuck with that industrial feel because we got the matching nightstands of that wood and steel, that furniture lineup that I was referring to in the base game. So I've got that going. Now the bed is definitely something out of the box, because I wouldn't usually go for this sort of vibe with the metal and wood, but there's something special about this bed. So this is a unlocked bed. I think it comes with a level of the painter career. Yeah, it does. So it's 4 painters, and it has an inspiring decor of 6. So I was thinking of gameplay when I put this down here. So if you do have a painter sim, this will be the best thing for them, because then they'll be able to sleep and be inspired. And the more inspired they are, the better their paintings are, the more they'll sell for, and the more they'll make a living doing what they love. So wonderful. Let me bring my camera down because I'm so high. All right, and last but not least, the last room of this unit. Here we are. And again, very simple, still has that industrial feel to it, straight to the point. Got that view of outside and the shared restroom. Well, not shared, but the private ensuite. So again, got those same fixtures. The difference in here is that this unit only comes with a shower in the ensuite. So not bad. All right, so I like that. This is a nice little craftsman home. Very different. As you can tell, all these units, they have the similar layout, but you know, their fixtures are all different and they give character to the Sims that live here. So I love that. All right, now we're gonna go on over to the other side, and now, you know, let's see if you can guess what sort of person lives here, just based off of the based off of the welcome mat. So you can tell on this one it was an artist, 'cause that looks more like a, you know, drawing lines on an abstract portrait. But this one here, all right, let's show you guys. All right, so immediately we're led into the hallway again. We got a nicer floor, similar to the new renovated apartment. And yeah, so let's go and see. It looks a little more minimal in here. And it sure is. Look at that. So this is sort of more like a boho sort of vibe. Boho, earthy, more green friendly apartment unit. And what makes this so cool, because to have this now, if you have in 2025, it's now 2026 because it's the new year, but in 2025 we got Enchanted by Nature, which allowed us to have indoor plants. And so this, with the ability to have vertical gardens, and this is just great for a plant lover's apartment. So I think this will be really good for them. You have that boho themed, and you know, really lay it on strong. I love that. And these are just default shelving units that come with Eco Lifestyle. So I've sort of matched them up here. I love the greenery that comes on there. So it really adds to the space. And then of course I've got this little bonsai tree, because that's a cool asset slash activity to have in your house if you have a green thumb. So yeah. And yeah, get into how I paired this together. We got the high school years little love seat, plus the little chair by itself that matches that sort of boho theme. And then I just matched it with this little rattan 3-seater couch that came with Island Living. Now see how nicely these three pair together? You'd think they were an entire set. But yeah, beautiful. Love that. And so that's our living room set. And yeah, if you download this house, feel free to put some more indoor plants in here. This is great for a plant lover, and there's plenty of room. I even put little pots here so you can grow your own plots. You can replace this with the new indoor house plants and name those plants, and they'll get plenty of sunlight being in front of the window. And then this is the kitchen. And you know what's cool about this kitchen is that it kind of matches the aesthetic of that boho vibe, because we went with the Island Living counter set. So as you can see, we have a little wicker in the drawer sets over here. It's a waterfall island, which is also beautiful. And yeah, everything's minimal. We got a candlelight over there, so it's not you know, too much electrical going on. Like it's just earthy. There's tea for the tea lover. Like something tells me this sim is very earthy and into houseplants. And so yeah, I like that. Nice big space. And again, if you don't like this aesthetic, you can change it up to whatever you feel. And it's not that different than the newly renovated apartment. So you can empty this out and it still has good bare bones on it. All right, and then let's see, what do we do for the bathroom? All right, we kept it simple, neutral, to the point. Very nice. Okay, and then let's look in the first room. Oh, gorgeous. So it's so funny me looking at it now, because again, it's been a while. It's been quite a while since I actually toured this, because I made this some years ago. But yeah, this is beautiful. This is really nice. So this is good for whether you have a teen sim or a child sim. that stays here. Maybe they're a knitter, and again, they love plants. Get some more plants up in here. And here's a little work area where, you know, if they have homework, they can work on their homework. Or maybe they're just someone that likes writing. If you have the journal that comes with parenthood, or the journal that comes in life and death, you can do a bucket list and you can write out some things your son wants to do. So that's a really cool extra activity in the game. This is so nice. I'm loving this. I love the light coming through the windows. I love the windows in these builds. And this is a cool decor piece that also came with Eco Lifestyle. But this is why I tell you, Eco Lifestyle is such a good pack. It has so many good things. All right, next room. Oh, I made a kid's room. Look at this. Okay, so it's been a while, y'all. I'm surprising myself. But yeah, this is a beautiful room. Oh, look, I got the matching bed and dresser set that came with Eco Lifestyle. This is very kid-friendly too, with the rounded edges. I just think that's so cute. And we paired it with some high school years. Looks like we got, I put little twinkly lights on it, and we matched it with this base game rug that came with the Growing Together pre-update. Oh, love that. They got this little bear they could take care of. A little swing. I love this little swing. I think that's gorgeous. We did a good job in matching the aesthetic throughout the whole house. And then we kept with that green. Sort of like this is sort of like the green apartment for sure. The Green Fiends apartment. They just love green and the earth. And yeah, so it made sense that the dollhouse would be this green friendly unit, or well, green friendly dollhouse, I should say. And if you've never seen this dollhouse, it is the Eco Lifestyle dollhouse that, you know, comes with the pack. So yeah, pretty cool. And this is just a little puzzle piece that comes on the wall. Again, another Eco Lifestyle addition. So very nice. All right, and then the last room is over here. So this is what is the primary room. Very nice, candle lit, boho curtains. Ooh, again, a little dresser on the side over there, a little meditation stool. Very nice. And then they get their own ensuite bathroom, which is simple and to the point. Very nice. I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. So, guys, let me know, what are you guys thinking of this Green Fiends apartment, the plant lover, aka plant lover's apartment? Looks good. I love the kids' rooms too. This is really, I was so surprised when I came in here. I'm like, oh, that looks good, especially with the little twinkly lights hanging down. Great. All right, so that is it. That is all 4 units of this building. Now, there is an extra space that is on the roof, because I thought, you know, how cool would it be to have like a little rooftop activity? And so I provided one. So here, if you go up the stairwell, you'll be inside of the tower, which leads to the roof deck, which a lot of like inner city apartment buildings have, you know, your roof staircase. And yeah, here we are outside. We get the garden area, which is humongous. So you get the vertical gardens right here on the wall, and then we have these planters over here. Now this is really good, because if you're playing an eco lifestyle and you are gardening, you can use your produce to then make juice in the juice fizzing machine. So very great. And then you get to sell that. And I included a selling table, and I propped it up right here, because if you wanted to sell to your residents, maybe it's a late nighttime thing where everyone's up here and barbecuing at night, you can come up here and sell your juice that you know, fizzed throughout the day. So you can fizz through the day, sell at night, have yourself a good time. Now, besides the garden area over here, there's this area, which is a barbecue area. So you need some space for your residents to mingle. And of course, downstairs we got a lot of stuff because we got the little, art function room. We have the fitness slash yoga room, the laundry room, the lobby. But, realistically, some of these places have rooftops that cater to outdoor dining and eating. And, let's, if you want to throw a birthday party at your apartment building, you can just come up to the rooftop. Baby shower, prom send up, whatever, you make use when you are living in an apartment. So this is pretty cool. So we added a little, barbecue area here. We got some patio tables and even got a little dance floor for anyone who wants to bust a move. And I made sure to cover the radio with an umbrella just in case it rained or stormed. That should work. Let me know if it doesn't, but it should because it's covered. All right, so that's basically the total function of the roof. There is another extra space because it is just a big, it's just a big old apartment building. So I added fireworks because I thought, why not? Give your Sims something to play with, have some fun. So there are two bazooka, fireworks over here, which is pretty cool to have a view like this, especially, at nighttime. I think that would be so beautiful. And then, over here, we just got a few of the rooftop fixtures that came with Eco Lifestyle. So I can't remember if these are functional for you to mess with. They may not be, so they may run on their own. And then over here, more fireworks. Now, again, I've uploaded 2 versions of this lot on the gallery. In the residential rental version, the alternate version that has the fuse box and the electrical box, you'll also get the for rent hopscotch over here for the kids to play with. I do remember adding that. But other than that, that is the build. This is cool. This is a pretty cool and fun build. I like how all of the apartments are so detailed and neat. The only reason why this didn't stay in my save file is because I felt like the amenities were so huge, like the art area, the laundry, and the this little yoga room. They were so cool, but they're so spread out, and these are just too many activities for Sims because they'll be everywhere, and them being everywhere is really being nowhere because you never see them. Because if you're on this floor and all your Sims are in those spread out areas, then you just never see them. If you're in your house, I get that. You're in your apartments, I get that. But if if you're upstairs and you want to see them upstairs, but they're downstairs doing other stuff, or you're downstairs doing other stuff and they're upstairs, then you don't get to see them. So that's the only reason that I didn't keep this in my save file. But if you're somebody who plays with mods and you up your sim count anyway, then that won't be an issue for you. I just wanted to see more of the NPCs together, which is why I wanted to make another version that was more closer together and smaller, and somewhere where I can see the NPCs when I want to see them all at once. So yeah, this has been pretty cool. I love this. So again, we got our fitness yoga area, our lobby, our arts room slash function room, plus our laundry room. We got a utilities area. I didn't even go in here. This is where you will put the water heater. If you download the residential rental, it will already be here, as well as the fuse box. That one will already be here if you have the other version. But yeah, these are pretty cool. We got our just moved in apartment, our repurposed and reclaimed apartment for sure. That was pretty cool. And then we got our craftsman apartment over here. Awesome. And then our plant lovers apartment, as well as our rooftop. Great for our gardening, selling, and neighborhood cookouts and potlucks. So that was pretty cool build. Again, if you are interested in this build, this is called the Rusty and Reclaimed Apartments. It is on a 30 by 20 lot, and I've saved it as residential. You can find it as residential, and you can also find it as residential rental, where all of the lots will be categorized and all of that. So yeah, you can find it under Marsha Tag 12. And yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me, for watching, for chilling. This was cool to look back on my old build down memory lane and like remember what I did all that time ago. So yeah, leave below in the comments what you think about each unit, or just your overall thoughts on the aesthetic and the different sort of character types of each unit. I would love to know. All right, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.